Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is another eyeshadow palette tag video. And how could I stay behind? Because if you guys know me, you know I love my eyeshadow palettes. And this is a tag that was created by Allie, Glines and Samantha. They also did an eyeshadow palette tag video round 1. I would say 1 year or 2 years before. I have done that video actually on my channel, and a lot of you guys came to my channel with that video. So I definitely wanted to do this round 2, and I absolutely love both of those creators. I absolutely love Samantha and Allie, and I've been subscribed to both of them. I will link their videos in the description box below for you guys if you want to check it out. I am pretty sure a lot of people are doing this tag. So if you guys want to see my version of the eyeshadow palette tag video round 2, then please keep on watching. Now the first question is my all-time favorite palette, and I had to go with this because I have used this palette in and out so many times in my life. Like, this was like my go-to palette for my office, my like go-to palette for run out the earrings kind of a look, and this was also my go-to palette for like my glamorous looks. So I definitely wanted to include this, and I am talking about my Dose of Colors Friendcation palette. I really love each and every shade that has been chosen for this palette. Like, the mattes are like absolutely perfect, I would say. I cannot complain one bit about it. I feel like these were like made for me. I love that they included a rosy tone, a brown tone. These shades that even appear to be lighter in the palette, it's like perfect in the crease. I love it. This deepening shade is like my favorite. My favorite shade in the palette is definitely this. Like, mine would be, it's so beautiful and sparkly. Mine is like, it's old. Right now, it's an old palette, but I still use those mattes all the time. Like, I love these mattes. I have to swatch at least a few mattes, I would say. They're so buttery, they're so creamy. Are you kidding me? I still love it. Okay, let's move on. Now the second question is, what is my new favorite in my collection? And I have to give it to this. From the time this is landed in my collection, I cannot stop using it. And you guys know I love my purples, like you know. And I'm talking about my ABH Norvina 5 palette. This palette, if you love purples, you absolutely need this in your life. If you've seen my ranking video for 2021, you know. I mean, I absolutely love this palette. Now again, I would say if you love purples, you would absolutely enjoy it. But even if you do not love purples and you get like intimidated by looking at this palette, I would say just hide these purples and you would see like a very neutral color story. It will still lean a little more on like a mauvey, pinky side, I would say. But if you love purples, you need it. You absolutely need this. Like, the formula, the sparkle is like amazing. This palette does have like one pressed glitter in it, and it is this shade which is called D2, and that is what I have all over my lid, like topped on top. Like, I love it. Third question, which is the palette that you keep for the memories? And I have to go for this one, and this is my Urban Decay's Born to Run palette. I personally keep this because I have traveled with this palette so many times, and this was like my travel buddy wherever I used to go. And I cannot get rid of this. I have so many memories attached to it, attached with like the places as well as the people. Oh my God. I remember doing looks on my sister with this. I have done so many looks on my friends. I love it. I don't know. Why do I not use it? I have no idea. Like, it's getting old. I should probably use it. Yes, for sure. Oh my God. But I still love it. Oh yeah. Yes. I'm not going to get rid of this for sure. Now, the fourth question is, what is the underrated palette that is there in my collection? And I definitely have to mention them. And it is It's Belle Cosmetics. And I have two palettes from them. One is the Break the Rules palette, and the other one is Flair Collection Remix palette. If you guys know this channel, you know I love them. Like, if you are a person who loves duochromes, multichromes, anything shiny, shifty, you absolutely need this. Like, I'm not even asking you guys, like, you need it. Like, look at those shades. And mind you, I'm not even like a green person, and I love this palette. Oh my god, if you like jewel tones, you need this. If you like purpley, pinky tones with like green and blue shifts, like the shift is amazing. I linked the video that I did using this palette in the icons above for you guys to check it out. And look at the excitement in that video. And you would understand why am I like gaga over this palette. Like I love it. Now the next question is the palette that is not a favorite but cannot get rid of. I immediately knew what I have to talk about, and I'm going to talk about my Pat McGrath Mothership palette. And this is the Bronze Seduction palette, which is my only Mothership palette that I have in my collection. Now, I was drooling over this palette when it was not in my collection, and this is not a palette that I like picked out as soon as it was like released. This landed last year in my collection, and I was disappointed. Like I was disappointed. Of course, don't take me otherwise. These 4 shades, magical, spectacular, lovely. I love it. Mattes are okay. My problem with this palette is this shade and this shade. Those 2 shades, it doesn't have any payout. Like I am expecting so much more, especially when I'm paying that much. Like, are you serious? Like this I can get from a drugstore palette. Yeah, I said it. I just said it. But yes, the spectacularness lies in these 4 shades, which everybody talks about, and you guys know, like I love those sparkly, shifty shades, and I cannot deny, like this is magical. But the rest of it, especially when the palette is $125, I expect mother to put it on my eyes. I'm just saying. I love you, Mother Pat. I have a lot of palettes from you, especially those like holiday palettes and like the smaller palettes. But when I got that, I was tiny little bit disappointed. I would say that. And because it's a Pat McGrath palette and because it is so pricey, I cannot get rid of this. Like, no, I cannot. Now, the next question is, what is your favorite collaboration palette? Now, I'm cheating here. In this question, I have 2 to mention, 2 collaborations to mention, 4 palettes to mention. The first one, I am pretty sure everybody can guess because I started my channel with this palette and I cannot get rid of this. I truly feel that this was like a best collaboration palette they could have ever done. And I'm talking about Anastasia and Jackie Aina palette. I have used and abused this palette so much on my channel and in like my life. I absolutely love the color selection that Jackie chose for this palette. I still feel that this is an everyday, colorful, a glamorous palette. I started dipping into colors because of this palette. Before this, I was using all neutral shades. This is the palette that made me fall in love with colors. And this was in right sense muted but colorful at the same time. I cannot thank Anastasia and Jackie for creating this palette because oh my god, my love affair with this is something else. And the next collaboration palette that I have to talk about, I'm pretty sure you guys can guess what it is. And it is from Odin's Eye, their legendary Diversa collection. And I have to mention all these 3 palettes because all 3 of them did an amazing job creating this palette. Like I cannot rave enough about it. This is the Red Dragon palette, which was created by Judy. Oh my god. All these palettes do have like one multi-chrome shade and a mix of mattes and shimmers and those glittery topper shades. Oh my god. Love it. I love it. This is Giant Wolf's palette, which was created by Annette here from Annette's Makeup Corner. And this palette is truly unique in my collection, I would say. Like I do not have anything like these mattes in my collection. And this multi-chrome shade is breathtaking. Like breathtaking. Love it. Love it. I'm so glad that that landed in my collection because I know it's sold out and you cannot find it anymore. But I'm so happy that that is in my collection. I love it. And the third one is Hummingbird palette, which was created by Tina from The Fancy Face. This palette I've mentioned quite a few times on my channel. This is a palette that I was very intimidated by because again, it's a very colorful palette. And I was like, I don't need these colors in my life because I don't wear them enough. But all the looks that I've created using this palette, I've loved. Right now, I do have like 3 looks using both of these palettes on my channel. Next one would be the Giant Wolves palette. I cannot wait to play with them even more. The next question is, what was my 2021 favorite? Now, this is not a palette that was released in 2021, but I ended up getting this palette in 2021 and I have loved it ever since. And I'm talking about my Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette. This is another palette. I think if something can take the place of the Dose of Colors Friendcation palette, it was this. Like, I love the neutral tones. I love the colors that were chosen. Like those muted colors and the perfect mattes. There are only 3 shimmers in this palette, but all perfect ones for an everyday life or for glamorous looks. Love the quality. I absolutely love playing with this palette all the time. Again, this is like my office palette now, so I absolutely love it. Next question is, what is a palette that you didn't expect to love? And this is another question that I did not have to think twice. And the winner is Dirty Martini palette from Glamlight. Like, this is a green palette and I stay away from greens as much as I can because I feel like I look hideous in greens. But when I use this palette, oh my god, I don't think I need any other green palette in my collection, but I'm so glad that this is the green palette that I chose to have it in my collection because these shimmers are so wearable and topped on top of any of these greens. It's so spectacular. I cannot recommend enough. Like, these shimmers are beautiful. Like, I'll swatch a few shades, some of the shimmers and some of the mattes, and you can see like the pigmentation. Oh my god, look at that. Like, the pigmentation and the quality is spectacular. Like, it's so stunning. I'm so happy with the Glamlight palette. I cannot wait for them to release more collections, and oh my god, if I like a color story, I'm definitely gonna get it. Now the next question is, which is the palette that sparks joy? Oh my god, I cannot. I love this palette, and this is Anastasia's Sultry palette. This is the palette that again landed in my collection in 2021. I'm so happy that I took that step to get this palette in my collection because that was the time when Anastasia like bought back Sultry, like last year, January, I would say. And I was like, yeah, I mean, a lot of people just say a lot of good things about this palette. Let me get it. The only reason why this was not in my collection is just because I'm not like big on cool tones. I was not big on cool tones, but trust me, like whenever I wear this, I feel so beautiful. Like, the eye looks come out to be so pretty. Like, I have fallen in love with cool tone, and this is like not only full with gray shades. And when I think of cool tones, I used to think only about gray shades. But these shades are so pretty. Oh my god, I'm so happy that this has landed in my collection. Oh my god, cannot thank myself enough. Thank you, Smithy. Now the next question is, which is my newest palette in my collection? And I would say it is my ColourPop's Ticket to Dreamland palette. Now this actually went out on sale for $9 in Ulta. I'm pretty sure that it's still on sale. I was like, yeah, let me just try it out. For $9, you cannot go wrong with it. But like, the color story did not speak to me too much. Like, it did not excite me. But when I tried it, I love it. Oh my god. This is definitely an unusual color story for ColourPop, but they are so beautiful together. Like, all the shades just go well together with each other so nicely. I'm so happy that I took that step of getting this in my collection. Love it. I absolutely love this. Right now, I think I've used this palette like 5 to 6 times. But yes, I am thoroughly enjoying it. Now, the last question is, which is the first palette that I used in 2022? And I would say it was my Red Dragon palette from Odin's Eye. And I was creating like 3 looks using this palette for my channel. I think it was like 2nd of January, and I just wanted to feel glamorous, and I thought like, what's more better rather than to put like sparkly shade on the eyes. Like, I love these shades. Absolutely beautiful color story that Judy has created. Let me swatch a few, and I link the video also in the eye cards above for you guys to check it out if you haven't already. Like, beautiful shades, beautiful. I seriously feel like Odin's Eye is also so underrated. Like, look at that multichrome that goes from like green to red to pink. Oh my god, that's stunning. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Like, love it. So pretty. Again, those were my answers to the tag that Allie, Glines and Samantha Marsh created. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did like it, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.